Good day, children. Hope you're all fine. Hope you're taking good care of yourself. Children, I want to ask you what education means to you. Does it mean going to school, reading your books, learning your questions and answers, taking an exam, passing, going on to the next class, and then forgetting all about whatever you did in your previous class? No, there is much more to education than that. True education is modification of behavior. It means that whatever you learn, whether in school or outside from anywhere in life, you must understand it properly and you must be able to apply it to your life situations, and you must be able to respond appropriately to situations. It teaches you how to conduct yourself properly. It teaches you life skills so that you can lead a good and proper life. Children, do you ever wonder why things happen, how they happen? Yes? Like, why does ice float on water? Why do we have day and night? Why can't we see stars during the day? Yes, so you do wonder about things. And when you learn things in your class, are you able to relate those to your real life? Yes, sometimes? Good. And also there must be occasions when you cannot relate them to your life as such. You can learn them, but you don't understand them properly. Does that ever happen to you? Yes, I can understand. Yes. That does happen too. So sometimes those things you can understand at a later stage, when you experience those things. So today we will be enjoying a poem, The Geography Lesson by Zulfikar Ghosh. In this poem, he goes on a plane journey where he relives what he has learnt in class. He realizes what it is and he understands whatever was taught in class when he views it with his own eyes from the sky. Zulfikar Ghosh is a great novelist, poet and essayist. His works are magical realism. Now children, let's read the poem. When the Geography Lesson by Zulfikar Ghosh. When the jet sprang into the sky, it was clear why the city had developed the way it had, seeing it scaled 6 inches to the mile. There seemed an inevitability about what on ground had looked haphazard, unplanned and without style, when the jet sprang into the sky. When the jet reached 10,000 feet, it was clear why the country had cities where the rivers ran and why the valleys were populated. The logic of geography that land and water attracted man was clearly delineated. When the jet reached 10,000 feet. When the jet rose 6 miles high, it was clear the earth was round and that it had more sea than land. But it was difficult to understand that the men on earth found causes to hate each other, to build walls across cities and to kill. From that height, it was not clear why. Children, now I'd like you to read the poem with me. When the jet sprang into the sky, it was clear why the city had developed the way it had, seeing it scaled 6 inches to the mile. There seemed to be an inevitability about what on ground had looked haphazard, unplanned and without style when the jet sprang into the sky. When the jet reached 10,000 feet, it was clear why the country had cities where the rivers ran and why the valleys were populated. The logic of geography that land and water attracted man was clearly delineated when the jet reached 10,000 feet. When the jet rose 6 miles high, it was clear the earth was round and that it had more sea than land. But it was difficult to understand that the men on the earth found causes to hate each other, to build walls across cities, and to kill. From that height, it was not clear why. In the poem Geography Lesson, Zulfikar Ghosh is travelling by plane. He is remembering what he learnt in his geography class. He is able to understand a lot of concepts that he had learnt when he actually sees those things. He is trying to understand and make sense of the deeper meanings of what he had learnt in his geography class. He travels in a jet aircraft. Jets are propelled by jet engines. They achieve best efficiency when they travel faster than the speed of sound. They generally cruise at a speed faster than 981 km per hour. They cruise at altitude around 10,000 to 15,000 meters. World's first jet plane was Heinkel HE 178. It was built in 1939. The world's fastest plane is Lockheed SR-71 Blackbird. It has a jet engine. As the jet attains height, the poet is able to see the earth from different altitudes. In the poem, the poet talks about the earth and its physical features from different altitudes as seen from the airplane. The poem is divided into three parts, according to the altitude at which the plane is flying. In the first stanza, the poet is able to view the city from the height. In the second stanza, he can see the country. And in the third stanza, he can see the earth from the airplane. This poem is about perspective. One's perspective changes as one moves away from a place, from a thing, or even a situation. Some things start to make a lot more sense when they're viewed from a distance. In the first stanza, which word shows that the jet moves very fast? Yes, the word is sprang. It shows a very fast movement. So in this stanza, the poet is able to view the city from a height as the jet goes up. Tell me, children, how much does 1 mile of the city on the ground seem to be from the plane? Yes, absolutely right, 6 inches. The scale of the ratio is what seems to be only 6 inches from the plane is actually 1 mile on the ground. Can we see the whole city when we are on the ground? No. We can only view it if we are at a much higher altitude. Children, when we stand on top of a very tall multi-story building, what do people look like to you from there? They look very small from there. When the poet was on the ground, how did his city seem to be? Yes, the poet thought that his city was haphazard. He thought it was unplanned. He felt it was without style. He found it very confusing and chaotic. This is generally the case with bigger cities where too much of migrant population keeps coming in. So the city keeps expanding to house the increasing population. Okay children, now you tell me what becomes clear to him when he sees his city from the sky. Yes? Yes, children. Good. It becomes clear to him why the city had developed the way it had. The style of development makes more sense to him. He realizes that it is inevitable. This style of development and expansion of the city cannot be avoided. For example, how the factories and industries have come up on the outskirts, and later on how colonies have developed near those industries. The people who work in those factories live there. Then markets come up there to provide the things to fulfill the daily needs of those people. All this seems congested, chaotic and confusing at close quarters, but starts to make much more sense when viewed from a height. Children, what height does the jet attain in the second stanza? Yes, that's correct. The jet is at 10,000 feet in the second stanza. How much area can he see? Like in the first stanza, he could just see a city. From 10,000 feet, how much can he see? Yes, he can see the country. That's absolutely right. Children, what did he figure out or understand about the cities of the country? Correct. He understood why the country had cities where the rivers ran. Why were the cities near the rivers? Yes, because what is necessary for life? That's correct. So what all do we need water for? We need it for basic needs like drinking and bathing. We need it for household activities like washing and cleaning. It can be a mode of travel also. We can travel on boats on a river. Yes, so we can do trading. Absolutely right. Rivers make the land fertile. So the land near the river is very good for agriculture because it has alluvial soil. Moreover, for irrigation also we need that water which comes from the river. Children, I would like you to make a poster showing the various uses of water, and you must make a beautiful one. All the ancient civilizations had developed around the rivers. Do you know which ancient civilization was there in India? Yes, well done. Indus Valley civilization. Yes, there were some other major civilizations. There were the Egyptian civilization by the river Nile, the Mesopotamian civilization along the rivers Tigris and Euphrates, the Chinese civilization along river Yellow. Children, can you name any city in India which is next to a river? You also have to name the river. Yes, Delhi by the river Yamuna, Varanasi by the river Ganga, Kolkata by the river Hooghly, Surat by the river Tapti, Vijayawada by the river Krishna, Ludhiana by the river Satluj. Children, you have to find out which river is closest from your home. I would like you to tell me, why do you think the valleys are populated? Because of fertile land. Yes, that's absolutely right. Because of good weather. Yes. Because, yes, it is more plain than the mountains. But most importantly, the valleys have rivers running through them. And those rivers provide the water to fulfill everyone's daily necessities and for agriculture. Children, can you name any beautiful valley in India? Dehradun, very good. It's really beautiful. And it is by the river Song. Children, what is the logic of geography? Yes? Read the second stanza and tell me what is the logic of geography. Correct. The logic of geography is that, yes, land and water attracted man. Here we are talking about fertile land, not just any land, fertile land. What was clearly delineated or shown? The logic of geography that land and water attracted man, that cities developed around rivers, that valleys were populated. The main thing is that people tend to live around water bodies and in places where the soil is fertile. Like Srinagar is by the Dal Lake. In the third stanza, how high was the jet? Correct, the jet was 6 miles high. What is the shape of the earth as the poet sees from 6 miles high? The poet sees that the earth is round. When the poet studied it in his geography lesson, that the earth is round, it did not make much sense to him. It was difficult to believe because as we live on earth and move around, it seems flat. Children, do you ever think that if the earth is round, why don't we fall off? Do you wonder about this? Yeah, I used to when I was a child. Actually, the gravitational pull of the earth keeps us on it. Otherwise, we would be just floating around. All the things would be floating around as they do in space. What is the percentage of water on earth as compared to land? Correct, that's right, well done. The earth has 71% water and 29% land. And do you know how much is the fresh water here? Only 2.5%. The rest of the water is saline and ocean based. And from that, only 1% of our fresh water is accessible because most of it is in the form of glaciers and snowfields. Do we have any glaciers in India? Yes, Gangotri, Yamunotri, high in those Himalayas. When we go through the third stanza, what is clear to the poet? The poet has understood what he studied in his geography lesson, that there are two things. Yes, the earth is round and that there is more sea than land on earth. Very good. And what is not clear to the poet? The poet finds it difficult to understand why men hate each other, why men kill each other, and why do they build walls across cities. What do these walls symbolize? Yes, I would like you to figure out, what do they symbolize? What is the deep meaning of this word, the walls? Yes, it is okay to make walls to construct buildings. But walls across cities, what do they symbolize? They symbolize divisions. They symbolize differences, dislike, hatred. These walls are physical, they are mental and emotional. They symbolize strife and conflict. In 1961, the Berlin Wall was built to divide East Germany and West Germany. It went through the city of Berlin. This wall was broken down in 1989 when both the Germanys joined together again. Then there's the wall of shame in Peru. It divides the rich and the poor. There are many peace walls in Ireland. These walls divide the Protestant Christians from the Catholic Christians. They perhaps built these walls for peace so that these people would not fight with each other. But why? Why should they even have been fighting at all? There is a 160-mile long wall between North Korea and South Korea. Rabindranath Tagore, in his poem Where the Mind is Without Fear, says that he wanted his country to be a place where the world has not been broken into fragments by narrow domestic walls. He wanted his country to be a place where everyone loved and cared for each other. Zulfikar Ghosh feels the same way. He wants love and peace on earth. He does not understand why there should be any war, conflict, or strife. This is also his comment on the education system, where just facts are taught. He feels that children or people should be taught to live together in peace and harmony. Children, now we'll do the poetic devices. The first is rhyming words. Words that end with the same sound. City, inevitability. Had, haphazard. Mile, style. And you can find the rest, children. The second poetic device is rhyme scheme. It is a pattern of words that occur at the end of each line in a stanza. The sky in the first line is coded as A. City of the second line does not rhyme with sky, so it is coded as B. Had in the third line does not rhyme with sky or city, it is coded as C. Mile of the fourth line does not rhyme with sky or city or had, so it is coded as B. So the last word in the fifth line, which is inevitability, rhymes with city, which is B. So inevitability is also coded as B. Haphazard of the sixth line rhymes with had, so this is also coded as C. Style of the seventh line rhymes with mile, so this can also be coded as D. Sky, of course, is A. So the rhyme scheme of this stanza is A, B, C, D, B, C, D, A. Now you must figure out the rhyme scheme of the other two stanzas. The third poetic device is repetition of a line, which is a refrain. A line is repeated to lay emphasis on it. In the first stanza, the first line has been repeated. When the jet sprang into the sky, it is repeated at the end of the stanza. So it is a refrain. You must find out if there is any other refrain in the poem. There is, you just have to point it out. Yes. The fourth poetic device is enjambment. This is when a sentence is carried into the next line of the poem without any punctuation. For example, the second line of the poem, it was clear why the city had developed the way it had. It goes on into the third line without any kind of a punctuation. So this is an enjambment. There are several others in this poem. You must find those. The fifth poetic device is imagery, when a very clear image or a picture is formed in the mind on reading the words. For example, the jet sprang into the sky. We can actually visualize it. Why the country had cities where rivers ran, why the earth was round, more sea than land, build walls across cities, and there are many more. So all these images become so clear in our mind. The sixth poetic device is alliteration. Alliteration is when a consonant sound at the beginning of the words is repeated in a line. Example, in the line when the jet sprang into the sky, the s sound is repeated in two words, sprang and sky. There are others, you must find them. Yes. Symbolism is the seventh poetic device. Walls here are symbols of boundaries, physical, emotional and mental boundaries, what come between people and between nations. The tone of the poet is thoughtful and critical. He does wonder why there is so much hatred and enmity among people. Come on children, let's have a quiz now. The poem Geography Lesson was written by, the options are T.S. Eliot, William Blake, Zulfikar Ghosh, John Keats.
It's Zulfikar Ghosh.
That is correct. Well done. The next question is, from the sky, the city appeared, the options are haphazard, as developed as necessary, as neat as a map, overpopulated. And the correct option is?
As developed as necessary.
Well done. That's fabulous. The next question is, the height from which the earth seemed round was, the options are 10,000 feet, 20,000 feet, 2 miles, 6 miles.
6 miles.
That's wonderful. Well done. The next question is, in the poem, scaled means having scales on the body, like a scale, or measured, or climbed.
It's measured.
Wonderful, wonderful. That's so good. The next question is, according to the poet, it was clear from the sky that, the options are, the earth was round, there was more sea than land, the cities were by the rivers, all of the above.
It's all of the above.
Great! That's really fabulous. According to the poet, it was not clear from the height why men hated and killed each other, why valleys were populated, Why the cities were by the rivers? None of the above.
Why men hated and killed each other?
Well done. That's the correct answer. Children, let's do another fun activity. Match the following cities with the rivers. The column A has the cities: Delhi, Ludhiana, Surat, Varanasi, Kolkata, Vijayawada. Column B, we have the rivers: River Ganga, River Hooghly, River Satluj, River Yamuna, River Tapti, and River Krishna. Now let's match the cities and the rivers. Children, tell me, which river is Delhi located by?
It's River Yamuna.
Good! That's the correct answer. And which river is running by Ludhiana?
It's River Satluj.
Good! That's the correct answer. Where is Surat located? Next to which river?
I guess it's River Tapti.
Good! Correct answer. And where is Varanasi?
It's River Ganga.
Right! Varanasi is by the river Ganga. Where is Kolkata?
I guess it's located near River Hooghly.
Very good! Correct answer. Where is Vijayawada?
It's River Krishna.
Well done, children. That's perfect. I'm so glad you know your rivers and the cities next to them. Now we're going to have another fun activity, which is to make meaningful sentences from the jumbled words. I'll give you the words for the first sentence: earth, more, the, has, land, sea, than. Now let me see you make a sentence. Yes, come on. You can start with the word the.
I guess it can be the earth has more sea than land.
Oh, that's great. That's wonderful, child. Well done. That's the correct answer. Now for the second sentence, the words are attracted, water, man, land, and have. Come on, give it a try.
Yay, this one is easy. I got it. Water and land have attracted man.
Great, great. That's the correct answer. Is there another way you can say this?
Yes, land and water have attracted man.
Good. Well done. You're really bright, children. Now I'll give you words for the third sentence. Cities, rivers, early, by, are, the, most. Come on, figure it out. Should I give you a hint? Should I give you the starting word? We can start with most.
Most early cities are by the rivers.
That's great. That's really great. You got it right. Okay, now I'll give you the words for the fourth sentence. 6 high miles round from looks the earth. Yes, come on. You can start with the word the.
Okay. The earth looks round from 6 miles high.
Perfect. That's so well done. Very, very well done, children. You're all very good. Children, I would like you to write a poem based on your personal experience. From this poem, we learn the true purpose of education, that we must live with each other peacefully. We must love and care for each other. There should be no conflicts, no strife. There must be no wars, no fighting. We must live together in peace and harmony. We should be more broad-minded, We should have a wider perspective. We should be able to understand the viewpoint and perspective of others as well. This can help us resolve conflict. Also, in the case of problems or situations which are tough, if we distance ourselves from them, they will seem very small to us, and then we will be able to resolve them much faster and much better. There will be no strife, no conflict, and we can all live together happily and peacefully.